What it is, what it do, cyber world. It is your girl, the one, the only Ash said it. AshSaidIt.com, AshSaidIt.com. Welcome to the Ash Said It Daily podcast show. I appreciate you guys for all of your love and support. Over 1,400 episodes and 500,000 streams worldwide. None of this is possible without you guys, so I thank you so very much. Now, even though we may be living this quarantine life, this COVID-19 lifestyle, I get so much joy from checking my social media posts. And one of my favorite influencers is chilling out with us today, the wonderfully talented Miss Symone Seven. Hey, Symone.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Doing pretty good. How you doing today?
I'm great.
Awesome. All right, so Symone, when did you get started with photography and editing?
So as a kid, I was one of those kids that I didn't like being photographed, which is funny enough because that's my job now. So I hate being photographed. At the family gatherings, I'll be like, "Hey, let me take the pictures," because I don't want to be in none of them. So I got away from the camera. But as I became a teenager, and my mom, she owns a hair salon, so I picked up different techniques. So I would really like to experiment what I saw on YouTube and then take before and after photos. So as a teenager, I would document my beauty experiments, and I would just take the portraits just to entertain myself because I loved beauty and fashion always. So that was just a little hobby. And then right before I graduated high school, we wanted to go from St. Petersburg, Florida, my hometown, to Atlanta. But the thing is, we needed some Atlanta money. So we was like, okay, how can we just make the most of this situation? So we was like, we have the salon, let's add a seafood restaurant in the salon. So it was a really big thing in the city at the time. I would take pictures for it, and we would post it on Facebook, and it would sell out every single day. Every single item on the menu would sell completely out before our operating hours would end. So that was my first little hunch. So once I got to Atlanta, I went to school here. I did my own thing. Child, I thought I was grown. And so I kind of left my camera behind. But after a couple of years, I found myself in 2017. I was moving from one side of Atlanta, which is Decatur, to the north side of Atlanta. And I was just packing up my stuff, and I found my camera, and I was like, wow, this used to be my life. I love this camera. At the end of that summer, between moving from one state to another, I bought a professional camera. So I always had one. So it's and it really connected me, especially being far away from home. Before I made that move across the city, I went back home and I was like, let me take pictures of my friends. And then from there, posting that on Facebook, I ended up getting clients. So I had an accidental business. I would have to be stuck with being in Atlanta. I was in school at Georgia State, taking pictures of people here. And then I'll have to drive to Florida almost every single weekend, 7 hours away to it's there. So that's where I started. And I was doing portraits for about 3 years. But at the beginning of this year, I really transitioned full-time to teaching Photoshop online.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
And how has that been going? You teaching now, you're transitioning from mastering the camera to now you have students.
Mm-hmm. So I started teaching in 2018. Here and there, I would have, especially during slow season, as far as portraits, but you only have a couple of seasons that are really, really hot. So when it slowed down, I would sit down with people, maybe meet them at Barnes and Nobles, and we would just have our laptops out, go over Photoshop, because for me, Photoshop was the biggest challenge. I was always a good photographer, but I was never a good editor. My skills just didn't match up, and it's definitely not a talent for me. It's a skill that I learned that I feel like everybody can learn, because I was deep. I look back at my old pictures and I'll be like, oh man, this kind of looks like an alien, so over edited, and I did and some people look pink and green in the photo, everything but brown. But I'm like, oh my god. So kind of mastered that skill, people sort of took to it, and then I really felt like a call to just spread that around.
Yes.
So I wanted to, like, because I was like, man, I didn't learn from YouTube. YouTube was just too hard. I couldn't understand. Like, everybody just sounded like they was trying to sound smart. I was like, child, just bring it down to my level. Luckily, I was around photographers in Atlanta that really taught me the ways of, like, the industry and shared their knowledge, when I'm so grateful because they didn't have to. So I was like, I have to pass this gift on. So now, full time, this is what I do. I teach Photoshop 101. I have a blog, a YouTube channel, and I teach 2 Photoshop classes on the basics and skin retouching every single Sunday.
Wow.
And it's live on Zoom, so wherever you at, you can be in your pajamas, your bonnet.
I love it. I love it. All right, so let's get into it now. What has been just a buzz all on the net? You've gone viral several times over. Is this Disney princess series? I have to say the photos look absolutely gorgeous. From top to bottom, I'm just like, yes, why was she not in the movie? I don't understand. So let's talk a little bit about the inspiration behind those recreations.
So I actually had this series planned for over a year. My original plan was to do like a modern princess series of all 12 princesses, and I was going to start with Cinderella because luckily for me, I was born in a generation where I had a black Cinderella. Like, Brandy was always my Cinderella.
Yeah.
I used to play that movie for me every day. I'd be like, girl, I got to listen to my song. Play So I would aggravate my family, and I had my little, like, Moesha Barbie doll that I would take it. I just really wanted to, like, feel that feeling of nostalgia and then spread it around to other people, because I know that was, like, a big favorite back in the 90s.
Yeah.
So I just want to bring back that feeling so everybody can just feel good. But, you know, procrastination, and, you know, quarantine hit, and I was like, man, the perfect time to be able to spread that positivity. I'm in the house. I have nothing else to do. Let's do it. And I decided to switch from just modern princesses to the movie because at the time, I think on the 29th of March, Mulan was supposed to come out. But, of course, Disney delayed it because of quarantine. So it would have been like a good time to just release those reimagined movie posters.
Right.
So it just ended up being on God's time, and I'm so grateful. Like, this series is definitely changing my life.
Absolutely. It definitely has. So has Disney reached out to you on any aspect?
So the closest thing so far was Good Morning America, which ABC is owned by Disney. So, of course, you have to approve everything. And, like, the writer had to, like, get clearance to even tell my story. So they're definitely aware of it. But I'm surprised that even I was only maybe 7 days in, and Good Morning America reached out to me to shape just all of these different platforms. And, of course, on Instagram, it was becoming like a thing on its own. Like, all of me be like, hey, I seen you here. I'd be like, what? Like, I can't even, like, see all the posts because I'm getting so many notifications. So they would just send it to me. And I was just like, oh, my God. I was on Business Insider last week. It was crazy.
Yes, such a blessing. And what would you say to someone today that is thinking about possibly exploring a hobby of photography and editing, but they haven't done it yet?
I would say work on training your eye first. For me, learning the technical skills of photography is something that's going to come. Like, as long as you know, build a network of other photographers that you can, you know, have a support system. So if you get stuck, you can ask them. That's, like, the technical part. And then the internet is, like, free range of all this information. You can learn the technical part. The biggest thing for me is the vision, because photography is all about vision. My vision was always strong, even though back in the day my pictures, like, the editing was like crazy, but the vision was strong. I had hairstylists, makeup artists, designers invested in my eyes. So I think that definitely putting out your vision, and of course I'm so big on this personally because my platform is all about representation. Because for me, the way a person is perceived determine their treatment. So I see that, of course, brown people, we aren't considered, equal to everybody else because of the perception around us. Like, even think about back in history where it was like the slave owners, they considered the slaves 3/4 of a man. They didn't even consider them to be human. Yeah. So for me, it's all about humanizing these people to better the treatment of them in real life.
Yes.
So your vision is everything. You could literally change society.
Yeah.
With your, and you got to use that influence wisely.
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay, last but not least, but my favorite portrait is the Princess Jasmine. I love just the colors, how it's hitting your skin from beginning to end. How long was that shoot? How long did it take to shoot that?
Oh man, these portraits take forever. Like,
but they're worth it. They're worth it.
They're absolutely worth it, and they make it like so satisfying once I see it completed. Because for me, like, it starts with the idea, and the idea lives with me for a while. So I go on different like databases. So I might take a couple days to search movie databases, like television shows, go through Pinterest archives. So I'll spend a couple days just doing that, and then I'll make a mood board. So that takes a couple days. I FaceTime my mama to be like, hey, do you think this is... And then from there, I typically, if it's a shoot day, my schedule is I get up around 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. I get ready for a couple hours. By 8 o'clock, I should be ready to shoot. When I plan it down to the pose, so I know exactly how it's going to look. So it only takes me about 20-30 minutes to perfect that vision.
Gotcha.
And then, of course, I have a movie poster in mind, so I go in Photoshop, I put it all together, I color it. Sometimes it's crazy, and I have to put, like, my head and arms and, like, hands on separately. So that takes me altogether at least 8 hours from start to finish on the shoot date, not including the prep time of days before.
Wow.
Yeah, 8 hours.
Well worth the 8 hours. I would just have to say, Symone, your vision will take you far, baby girl.
Well, thank you.
Pushing forward. It is definitely going to take you further than you probably ever could imagine. And I appreciate you having time in your schedule to chat with us, because I know you're busy. You got a lot of stuff going on. But let everyone know the best way to get in contact with you, and of course to follow your social media.
Okay, so social media first, because that's my baby. So you can see me, at least once a week at Symone Seven, Symone with a Y, spell out 7. And then Symone7.com, and on every other platform. And, my email and stuff is on all of those socials, so you can just say hi, say what's up, all of that.
Sounds good, Symone. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you, Mama. Much more success 2020 and beyond. And I appreciate each and every one of you guys for all of your love and support. Keeping in mind, anyone to tell you that you can't do what you want to do, you look them square in the face, you tell them don't believe me. Just watch. Watch what I do. Watch me make it happen. Watch me make history. That's what we're doing this for, the history books. Social media is nice, but real life is so much better. Until next time, you guys.